GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, I'm Renata Solano. This evening we'll examine rising student homelessness as enrollment drops, hear about a Santa Clarita deputy injured during a training crash, and highlight Hadrian's recent billion-plus series defunding. Meanwhile, the City Council has postponed its vote on halting homeless sweeps during emergencies. Over to you, Bennett.
The gmna gift shop just opened, literally 2 mugs on the shelf, but they're already selling fast through quickie.com, shop.gmna.ca.
Only 2 mugs. That's practically a boutique for coffee lovers, perfect for a quick grab, and we'll see new designs rolling in soon.
When the shop's inventory fits in a pocket, you know you're getting the genuine, no fluff gmna vibe, just mugs, apparel coming later, no hype needed.
It's a tiny treasure for locals, and we're ready to roll. Lots to get to, let's begin, so stay tuned today. Here are our top stories. Student homelessness is rising across Southern California even as overall school enrollment drops, with Los Angeles among the hardest-hit counties. Officials say the trend reflects broader enrollment declines. Julian Mercado has the full story.
Across Southern California, school districts are reporting a rise in students without stable housing even as total enrollment numbers slip. Officials say the drop in enrollment reflects broader demographic shifts, yet the count of homeless learners has continued to climb, stretching limited resources in classrooms and shelters. County education departments are coordinating with local nonprofits to expand emergency housing and meal programs, while counselors are being tasked with identifying at-risk youth early in the school year. The trend is prompting state legislators to consider additional funding for housing assistance tied to education. As families grapple with rising living costs, the dual pressure of fewer seats and more vulnerable students is reshaping how schools operate. Julian Mercado, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Earlier today, a Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department motorcycle deputy was hurt in a training collision in Santa Clarita. The deputy was participating in a routine high-speed maneuver drill when the bike slid off the pavement and struck a concrete barrier. First responders from the department's emergency unit arrived within minutes and transported the officer to a local medical center, where doctors said the injuries include a broken wrist and several contusions. Department spokespeople confirmed the training exercise was part of the agency's ongoing effort to keep riders proficient on the road, and that a safety review will be launched to determine any procedural gaps. No other personnel were involved, and traffic on the nearby highway was briefly rerouted while investigators secured the scene. The sheriff's office thanked the medical staff for their prompt care.
Police are investigating a burglary at a residence on the 8,000 block of Laurelmont Drive in the Hollywood Hills. The incident occurred on the night of August 25, just before 11 p.m., when 4 masked men forced entry. Officers responded to a break-in call and found the rear door smashed and the interior ransacked. Crime scene units processed the property for fingerprints and other forensic evidence. The residence is a private home. The Los Angeles Police Department has opened a criminal investigation and is collecting evidence at the scene. Detectives are reviewing surveillance footage and interviewing witnesses as the inquiry continues. The department has not identified the victims, disclosed the value of items taken, made any arrests, or released further details at this time.
Motorcyclist dies after falling from his bike on the southbound 405 freeway in Sherman Oaks, prompting lane closures and traffic backups. Wesley Tran has the full story.
At about 3 in the afternoon, a lone motorcyclist lost control on the southbound lanes of the 405 near the Ventura Boulevard on-ramp. The rider slipped from his bike, was thrown onto the roadway and was struck by an oncoming vehicle. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, but the motorcyclist was pronounced dead at the scene. Police closed both southbound lanes for roughly an hour while investigators cleared the wreckage, forcing traffic to crawl through the Sherman Oaks corridor. Officials said the fall appeared to be the primary cause of the collision, and no other motorists were reported injured. The closure disrupted commuter flow toward downtown, prompting drivers to seek alternate routes on surface streets. The freeway reopened after the investigation concluded. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Sherman Oaks.
stadium owners and a billboard firm together poured $3.4 million into Inglewood's municipal election this year, financing ads for two rival campaigns. Hollywood Park, the Kia Forum and WOW Media disclosed that the spending occurred between January 1st and June 30th, the first 6 months of 26. Their contributions funded television spots, billboards and digital messages that highlighted each candidate's stance on development, public safety, and venue financing. City officials said the influx of cash from large entertainment properties raised questions about the influence of private interests on local politics. The Inglewood City Council, which represents roughly 250,000 residents per seat, is now reviewing disclosure rules as the election results take effect. Voters will see how the money shaped the final outcome as the new administration begins its term. Next, we'll hear how fans are leaving tribute cards at Dolly Parton's Walk of Fame star. We will be right back. Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quickie.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickie.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios.
Welcome back. Yesterday, fans gathered at 6710 Hollywood Boulevard to lay handwritten cards and messages at Dolly Parton's Hollywood Walk of Fame star. The outpouring followed the announcement of the beloved singer-songwriter's death at age 80. Visitors slipped notes onto the brass plaque that was originally unveiled in 1984, turning the sidewalk into a quiet memorial. Representatives for Parton observed the tribute, thanking Angelenos for the heartfelt gestures. The scene reflected the deep connection the country music icon forged with audiences over decades, from chart-topping hits to philanthropic work. While the star remains a permanent fixture on the Walk of Fame, the spontaneous display of cards added a personal layer of remembrance, echoing the affection fans expressed across social media and local gatherings. The star, situated near the historic TCL Chinese Theater, draws thousands of visitors each year, making the tribute visible to past.
The Los Angeles City Council has postponed its vote on pausing homeless encampment sweeps during environmental emergencies, citing the need for additional study after public health experts warned of potential harm. Wesley Tran has the full story.
The Los Angeles City Council has pushed back its vote on a proposal to pause homeless encampment cleanups during environmental emergencies. Council members said they need more data before making a final call, so the decision has been sent to a later date for further study. Public health specialists have warned that rapid sweeps can worsen health risks for people living on the streets, arguing that the practice often leaves individuals without shelter or access to basic services. The council had been reviewing a plan that would temporarily suspend these removals when heat waves, wildfires, or other crises strike, but opted to defer a definitive ruling while analysts compile additional findings. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Authorities from Wildlife Care of Southern California, in partnership with the East Valley Animal Shelter and local residents, are issuing an urgent appeal for assistance in locating a semi-wild coyote that roams the Studio City neighborhood of Los Angeles. The animal, which has been a familiar presence in the area, has been living with a facial abscess or growth for more than a year and now requires immediate medical treatment. The request was made Wednesday, August 26 at 11:45 a.m., and the search remains active. Officials stress that timely identification of the coyote is critical to prevent further deterioration of its condition. Veterinarians warn that untreated facial infections can cause loss of vision and hinder the animal's ability to feed, further endangering its survival. The wildlife nonprofit emphasizes the importance of community involvement in locating the animal so that veterinary care can be provided without delay.
California lawmakers will vote today to strip major provisions from Governor Gavin Newsom's wildfire overhaul. The rejected language would have capped survivor payouts and shielded utility companies from most financial liability after a blaze. Critics say the changes would leave fire victims with less compensation while protecting corporate balance sheets. Lawmakers said they could not support a plan that limits aid to those who lost homes and loved ones. The governor introduced the revisions at the last minute, arguing the state's budget cannot sustain unlimited settlements and that utilities need certainty to maintain power infrastructure. The Senate and Assembly are expected to reject the measures, keeping existing compensation rules intact and preserving the current framework that holds utilities partially accountable for fire-related costs. With the summer fire season already intensifying across the foothills, the decision could shape how quickly aid reaches communities hit by new blazes.
California and a coalition of Democratic-led states have filed a lawsuit to block new nationwide USPS mail ballot processing rules, arguing the changes could jeopardize election integrity. Julian Mercado has the full story.
California, joined by a coalition of Democratic-led states, filed a lawsuit on August 26, 2026, seeking to halt the Postal Service's new nationwide guidelines for processing mail-in ballots. The states argue the rules could disrupt the handling of absentee votes and request a court order to prevent the procedures from taking effect. The lawsuit targets the United States Postal Service, demanding that the agency pause implementation until a judge reviews the case. Legal filings cite concerns over timing, staffing, and the potential impact on upcoming elections. The Postal Service announced the guidelines last month, saying they aim to speed up ballot processing and reduce delays. Critics say the changes could strain thin resources during the election season. Julian Mercado, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Now let's get a look at tonight's forecast with our weather team.
A stagnant ridge and a westerly jet keep heat locked over Los Angeles, driving today's relentless high temperatures. On this date, Los Angeles once reached a blistering 92 degrees in 2021, a record set during a Pacific-driven heat wave that pushed inland temperatures well above normal. The cold counterpart fell to 49 degrees in 2017, a rare dip that arrived with an Arctic surge threading the coast. By contrast, today's climatological normals sit around 84 for the high and 65 for the low, underscoring how today's forecast sits well above the typical summer rhythm. That swing of 23 degrees above normal signals the strength of the ridge anchoring the region. The live radar shows a completely empty echo field across the basin, no rain bands or dust plumes in sight. With the upper-level jet streaming westward at 43 miles per hour, moisture remains locked north of the mountains, and the surface ridge suppresses lift. That dry, stable column will persist through the night, keeping the city clear until sunrise tomorrow. Turning now to tonight's outlook. At 6 p.m., the city basks in 93 degrees under a clear sky, humidity holding at 38%, and a light west wind at 6 miles per hour. Pressure is steady, neither rising nor falling, allowing the high-pressure ridge to dominate the basin. The westerly jet at 43 miles per hour aloft reinforces the ridge, funneling warm air from the desert and preventing any cloud development. With the sun still low, the UV index sits at 9, while wind will briefly shift southward this evening, reaching a maximum of 11 miles per hour. No precipitation is expected, and there are no active alerts. Temperatures will dip gradually through the night, reaching 72 by early morning before sunrise. Looking ahead, Thursday brings another day of high pressure, but the cloud deck will thicken, delivering overcast conditions and a cooler high of 97 degrees. Friday cracks open the sky again as the ridge intensifies, pushing temperatures to a scorching 102 degrees while humidity stays low. Saturday remains dry and hot at 99, but a slight offshore breeze will keep it feelable. Sunday offers the first respite, with clear skies and a high of 93, dipping to 66 at night. Monday continues the cooling trend, topping out at 88 and holding a low of 66, a welcome dip after the weekend's heat. No watches or warnings are in effect for the period. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, we'll break down today's traffic, preview the Dodgers-Braves game chat, and spotlight Hadrian's billion-dollar series defunding. We will be right back. Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quick.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickecom.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios.
The biggest story tonight is that every major corridor is running clear. 5. The 4-lane stretch from the San Fernando Valley down to downtown is flowing at normal speeds with no bottlenecks reported. I-10 through the Mid-City corridor shows the same free flow conditions, and US 101 from the Hollywood Hills to the San Fernando Valley remains unimpeded. Sepulveda and the 405 through the west side are moving without delay, and the 110 heading into the Arts District is also clear. No incidents have been logged across the network, and transit lines are operating on schedule. Expect the usual evening surge to begin on the 405 and the 10 around 90 minutes from now as commuters head home from the Stadium District and the Westside office parks. Keep an eye on those freeways after rush builds, but for now, you're in a smooth-moving zone.
First, the Griffith Observatory is hosting a lunar eclipse stargazing party this week, broadcasting the rare blood moon. It's a free night to watch the sky turn crimson without leaving the city. The Broad will open its free exhibition, Has the Myth Been Shattered this fall, confronting mass media and memory. Visit for a no-cost look at how images shape our lives. Right now, a free fashion exhibition spotlights an iconic Golden Age Hollywood designer, letting Angelenos see classic cinema style. It offers a ticket-free glimpse into the wardrobes that dressed movie legends. California's largest record fair has rolled into Los Angeles this week, bringing the biggest vinyl lineup to town. Music lovers can hunt rare records and feel the city's pulse in one massive market. And now here's Terrence with sports.
Weekend action ignites LA. Dodgers chase wins while Rams aim for a flawless preseason finish. Mookie Betts delivered a seventh-inning single Tuesday, keeping the Dodgers within striking distance as they chase their first win back against the Braves. Rookie right-hander Roki Sasaki will start opposite A.J. Smith-Shawver, and the announced lineup suggests the club is leaning on its veteran core to spark a turnaround. Thursday night pits Dodgers ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto against veteran Braves lefty Chris Sale, whose 2.20 ERA makes him the NL's most stingy pitcher. The duel could dictate the series' swing, with Yamamoto's recent form poised to test whether Los Angeles can clinch a road series win. Roki Sasaki, fresh off a solid start against Colorado, returns to Atlanta aiming to even the series with the Braves. With the NL's top 2 slots on the line, a win would solidify the Dodgers' push for that coveted first-round bye. Will Smith's rehab burst? A home run and 5 innings behind the plate for Triple-A Oklahoma City forces the Dodgers to confront upcoming 40-man roster moves. His performance could accelerate a call-up, tightening depth at catcher and outfield as the club eyes a September push. The Rams close their preseason with a Thursday afternoon showdown at SoFi, seeking a perfect 3-win start against the Chargers, who serve as the designated home side. A 4 p.m. kickoff gives Sean McVay a chance to lock in his final roster decisions before the regular season. Stay tuned, LA fans, the drama just beginning.
Thanks, Terrence. Hadrian, the AI startup anchored in the Arts District, just closed a Series D round of $1.37 billion. Led by a consortium of venture firms, the new capital will turbocharge product development, double the engineering team, and push the company's footprint across the West Coast. For a city that's been redefining itself as a deep tech hub, Hadrian's success spotlights the talent pipeline flowing from local universities into real-world innovation. The infusion of funds means more high-paying tech jobs right here, and it signals to other founders that Los Angeles can compete with the traditional Silicon Valley narrative. It's a reminder that the city's future is being built by neighbors who code, create, and stay. Stay tuned for a glimpse at the nearly total lunar eclipse lighting up Southern California Thursday night. We will be right back. Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quickie.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickie.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios.
Welcome back. Tonight, a total lunar eclipse will darken the moon over Southern California, with 96% coverage. Griffith Observatory hosts viewing, and an online broadcast from 7:25 p.m. until 12:05 a.m. Camilla Uriola has the full story.
Tonight, a nearly total lunar eclipse will sweep across the sky, with 96% of the moon slipping into Earth's shadow. The show begins at 7:25 p.m. and runs until just after midnight. Ending around 12:05 a.m., Griffith Observatory is opening its doors for a public viewing, and a live stream will be available online for those who can't make it to the hill. As the moon moves deeper into the umbra, its surface will darken, offering a dramatic view of the celestial event. Lunar eclipses occur when our planet blocks sunlight from reaching the moon, casting a subtle reddish hue as Earth's atmosphere filters the light. Camilla Uriola, GMNA News, Griffith Park.
Federal judge in California rules that a Trump administration Labor Department rule permitting lower seasonal farmworker wages is unlawful. A win for farmworker advocates. Wesley Tran has the full story.
The court in Southern California handed down a decision on August 26, 2026, striking down a Trump administration Labor Department regulation that would have lowered the prevailing wage for seasonal farmworkers. The federal judge ruled the rule unlawful, citing that it would undercut wages already paid to U.S. farm laborers. Farm worker advocacy groups, who brought the lawsuit, argued the change would erode earnings for thousands of workers across the state. The administration had defended the rule as a means to increase flexibility for growers, but the court found the policy conflicted with federal labor standards. The ruling restores the prior wage protections, while the administration considers its next steps. Wesley Tran, GMNA News, Los Angeles.
Thank you, Los Angeles, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight we celebrated the community's heartfelt tribute to Dolly Parton's Walk of Fame star with the cards left by fans. We appreciate your watchfulness and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. See you then.